Hey everyone, it's Tabby, aka Octavia. We're going to ring the bell for a real true smile, not those fake smiles, not those masked smiles, not those frenemies. Alright, so I wanted to ask, I realized that this deck was just looking at me and I was like, what? I was like, what? What do you want? Like, because I didn't get any message or feedback from it or anything. So I said, okay, I'll ask it some questions. It's just been a few days since I used it, maybe a week or so. And I said, well, tell me who the culprits are for today. This came out. Mercury? The planet Mercury, or communication. And then what I picked up on was messages from her, or text messages, Google voice messages, WhatsApp messages, something about messages here. And I got the word scam and fraud. Okay. So something about communication, because Mercury represents the planet of communication. It's like talking to people, using, expression. It's spiritually, it's the awareness of. So that's like, claircognizant messages, telepathy, things of that nature. Yeah. And then many thoughts about or from, and then physically many words. Like I said, communication. So it could be text, it could be phone calls, something written, something signed even. Represents agreements and contracts. Things of that nature, somebody expressed something verbally, no matter how they chose to do it, by text, writing, phone, things like that. And then we got Scorpio, and it took me a while to get this out of the deck. It refused to show up. And what I know about Scorpio, this is a water sign, and Scorpio is, see how it's surrounded by water there? And with the Scorpio, it's a purification to resurrect. So someone was trying to, or has been doing some type of resurrection, Lazarus effect. Or that could be with anything. That could be with a job. That could be with a marriage. Ooh, Spirit said a phony marriage. Okay. That could be with revelations, things that you've been figuring out. With that water, grasping, what's the word I want to use here? Intuitivity, or intuitively grasping a message and understanding its meaning, interpretations. It also represents the secrets of, resulting from the power of. So something that this masculine. I was going to say Scorpio, and I said masculine. So this Scorpio could be a masculine. So we got Mercury, we have Scorpio. These are the culprits, all right? And their karma is everything that they've been doing is going back to them. And then this card, this is what tripped me out the most. I simply said who, and it flew out the deck like that. Like, it landed like that. And I was like, oh, so clearly this is who, or Doctor Who, or someone's been representing the planet Venus, like myself, my channel, Venus Goddess, Left Eye Tabby. That's just what I labeled it, because I know, that title represents me, but the messages there are about spirituality, metaphysical, in nature. We have the attraction of, the pleasure from, good times. So I'm picking up on Doctor Who, or who is someone that's in planet Venus. And then we have Saturn right after it, almost immediately. All right. Notice the green there, the man, they call Big Daddy Saturn. I found it interesting. Definitely not funny. The maturity that the growth that Saturn represents, the caution regarding limits imposed. That's what Saturn is supposed to come through with. You know what? I pulled out the book just for this. I sure did. I pulled out the book. I said to myself, let's go through it and see what we can catch on. And so now we at what? Saturn? Yeah. Saturn, the symbol shows the half circle symbolizing both the intellectual and the emotional halves of the polarized, individualized soul beneath the cross of matter. This symbolizes that the energies of the planet Saturn are those in which material considerations dominate those of purely mental or intuitive character, although the latter are also present. In many ways, Saturn's energies are opposite those of Uranus. Saturn is the stern, conservative, traditional father to the Uranus's rebellious child. As its symbol suggests, Saturn is like an anchor to prevent us drifting from where we should be. So it's like, it's a firm foundation, to take away the representation or the metaphor used here of pirates and boats and ships and anchors and such. This is a firm foundation. It's like having a firm foundation on land, on the planet. All right. But Saturn will keep us tied down in one spot for as long as we take to learn each succeeding practical lesson about functioning in the cold, hard. Okay, let me say it again. Saturn will keep us tied down in one spot for as long as we take to learn each succeeding practical lesson about functioning in the cold, hard, real world, not MTV's real world, okay, for those out there. In order to know when and if to release us from its latest discipline, Saturn tests us with ordeals that are appropriate to the lessons we need to learn. Let's go to keywords, okay? Because I found it so interesting. We've got structure, crystallized, permanent, traditional, conservative, mature, cautious, responsible. Define and understand rules and limits, stern, authority figures, fatherly, material, discipline, concern, fulfill obligations, teach, test, concentrate, and endure restriction. That's what Saturn represents. However, my deck today was used to find out who are the culprits. And these are the culprits, y'all, okay? If you are to accomplish the goals you have set for yourself in this life, then you must concentrate and not act on the whim of the moment. I may even reward you for the skills and endurance you develop. And it's interesting. It says, but you must wait. Saturn's warning. That was Saturn's message. Saturn's warning is, if you resist my test and do not discipline yourself with rules, limits, and restrictions of your own design, then I will do it myself. Without patient hard work and discipline, nothing worthwhile can come. So that's Saturn. I found this so very interesting. Okay, look. We got 10th house with regards to the career. Okay, so someone could be working from home as well, or your destiny is to have a career. Where you're going, 10th house. Yeah, so this was with regards to your 10th house, your career, where you're going, and your destiny. All of these culprits or vultures or, wicked witches, however you want to label them, warlocks, opposition, they were all involved. They're very, very involved, okay? Mercury was the first one, right? But let's get back to Venus. Okay, the symbol shows the circle of the spirit above the cross of matter. There's the circle. Symbol indicates that with Venus, spiritual values are more important than practical. The word didn't want to come out of my mouth. What is this? Okay. Mercury. We had Mercury communication. You see it's going on, right? Something is still going on. That Mercury's supposed to be direct now. So what's going on, Mercury? The symbol shows the circle of spirit above the cross of matter. This symbol indicates that with Venus, spiritual values are more important than practical considerations. Furthermore, what is pictured is the attempt to unite the perfection of the absolute with the material world by imposing its laws and beauty, harmony, and love on all that is personally contacted. The glyph for Venus, glyph, Glyph, look it up, for Venus has come to symbolize woman. That's why I named my channel this. Venus is the planet of romantic love and beauty and the arts that are associated with them. Sociable Venus rules over parties and pleasurable meetings. She accomplishes her goals by attracting only what she wants and rejecting the rest, thus making taste and values two of her special talents. Diplomacy, tact, and gentleness are a few of the arts that are ruled by Venus. In fact, Venus rules beautiful art in general. Art that involves refined forms and designs because everything must achieve harmony before usefulness. The love and beauty of Venus have the power to both unite and heal us. A more desirable and powerful combination is difficult to imagine. All right. Venus rules senses of touch, taste, and smell. Keywords: the feminine principle, attract, acquire, love, beautify, enhance, behave tastefully, socialize, enjoy, value, form, discriminate, harmonize, unite, combine, refine, diplomacy, tact, gentleness, heal, be kind, make peace, love, and art, which we heard about earlier. Venus's message is love the good in all things and observe how all good things will be attracted to you. Venus's warning: the beauty I seek is not merely that on the surface of things. What good is a beautiful fruit if it is rotten at the core? Amen to that. Hey. Okay, going back to this Mercury planet. Okay, so we have three planets: Mercury, Venus, and Saturn here. Okay, Mercury. The symbol shows the mental half of the crescent of the soul resting on the circle of the spirit that rests on the cross of matter. It is as if the symbol for Venus, with all its power to love, beautify, desire, and attract, has been crowned with a parabolic reflecting, parabolic, Parabolic. Look it up, guys, if you don't know what it is. Reflecting antenna, similar to that of the moon. The symbol of Mercury suggests the ability not only to focus with pinpoint accuracy on the particulars of what is mentally desired, but also to concentrate on and communicate those personal ideas to the universe. Mercury, called the winged messenger in mythology, Mercury represents the mind, which is the energy that enables our egos to receive and transmit facts, ideas, and information. In the solar system, Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, and when its position is plotted against the backdrop of the zodiac in a personal horoscope, Mercury is in either the same sign as our sun, one sign behind it, or one sign ahead of it. This can be interpreted as a symbolic of our mind, which is either involved with our current situation or thinking about the previous one or jumping ahead to the next one. By concentrating on a subject one fact at a time, Mercury enables us to make reasoned connections between ideas and make predictive calculations involving logical assumptions. When we become too obsessed with knowing the outcome of a situation ahead of its time, we tend to prone to nervousness and worry. Wow, see, that's what I was thinking. And Mercury rules our hands, sight, and nervous system. Okay, so this is what I was going to say. I was picking up a Mercury. I was picking up so much Nine of Swords energy from the tarot card. So I'm glad I'm reading the description that's in the book, because now I can give you a better understanding of where this tarot reading is going. Basically in conclusion. Hashtag in conclusion, y'all. Keywords: think, observe, study, analyze, discriminate, divide up into component parts, criticize, reason, logic, connect, adapt, move things about, spread, make by hand, craft, form, detail, predict, calculate, symbolize, communicate, speak, write, and read. Mercury's message: use logical Mercury's message: use logical methods in all you do and say, and you will not have to worry about wasting time or wasting resources. Mercury's warning: use the analytical power of your mind to improve, not just to tear apart. What you feel is not perfect. Okay, so this one I'm getting. The culprits, okay, the culprits, the vultures involved, they use Mercury, they use communication, text messages, phone calls, deep fake videos, things of that nature and sort, to transmit or to perpetuate a false narrative, right? To intrude upon people's thoughts and to give a sense of awareness of who you really are, right? But it was with deceit right here. And who did they do it to, or who did they do it with? A Scorpio. They did it with a Scorpio. Because remember, I wanted to know who were the culprits here. All right, Scorpio came out. So Scorpio is definitely involved with passing along this intrusive, false narrative about you, collective, or even about myself. Okay, let me tell you what Scorpio. The Scorpion, astrological symbol of Scorpion, October 23rd through to November 22nd. The sun's entrance into the sign of Scorpio was a matter of life and death. The sun's heat was dying, as were the crops, the flowers, the leaves of the trees. The least prized of the livestock were killed and meat preserved for the coming winter. All this death must have reminded our ancestors of their own mortality, but they realized that the leaves and the perennial crops and flowers would be back in the spring, and the annual crops and flowers would live on through their seeds. Association. Scorpio is associated with the most powerful magical mysteries in our lives: sex, a life or death matter, or if ever there was one, death, and resurrection, power, and change. The parts of the body ruled by Scorpio are the eliminative, how come I didn't know that word? Eliminative and reproductive organs. People born during the time of Scorpio function best when they can use that power for getting to the heart of a matter without regard to diplomacy. So this Scorpio is definitely, or was definitely, in some type of low vibrational energy to perpetuate this negativity, this communicated negativity about you or myself, collective. Okay, I heard myself as well, collective. And then what they did was they attacked this Venus energy, possibly my channel, possibly your Venus feminine energy. Take how it resonates, and they use this, or they've done this during possibly the Saturn return, okay, Saturn retrograde. 2, I heard eliminate your career, to force you out, to and cause an imbalance, to cause you to go inward because of ostracization, ruined reputation, right? Okay, so 10th house. Let's get to the 10th house to tell you, because it's so interesting. The 10th house, or mid-heaven, is at the top of horoscope. Since the 10th house is opposite to the 4th house, you are right if you assume that the basic meaning of the 10th house is where you are going. I did say that. I said destiny, right? Or if you're headed towards working from home or something of that nature, right? It's easy to understand where the term mid-heaven comes from. It's the degree of the zodiac in the middle of the sky, directly over your head at the moment of your birth, okay? Not every other day or every other birthday. It's when you were born, exactly. Mid-heaven is interchangeable with the cusp of your 10th house. While the 4th house rules home, the 10th house rules the career. The opposite of the 4th, security within the close family, the 10th is fame, honor, and respect. That's why I said they tried to ruin your reputation. They tried to ostracize you. They wanted people to look at you with some type of disgust and disrespect, or possibly treat you with that, so that you would not have fame, fortune on the job or at this work from home job or something like that, because it must be public. because the next sentence is from the general public and especially from those whom you respect. They're not exactly opposite in meaning as you see. In fact, their differences are mainly of context. The first and the fourth houses are concerned with personal and inner aspects of experience, while the seventh and tenth house are concerned with external ways in which to experience what are, in a way, two sides of the same coin. Okay? Your stern 10th house father, or whoever fulfilled that role in your life, decides it's time for you to make your way into the career he's helped steer you towards, and you can take that feeling of security from your fourth house with you out into the world and do your best. That's just a scenario. It's just a representation. It's just how the author chose to metaphorically call your 10th house like your career or your father, if you follow what I'm saying. So like your father would help steer or guide you towards whatever career field you would go into, whereas your fourth house will represent your house and your mom, is what they're saying. I find it so interesting. It's a lot to read. It is a lot. So the culprits here, the bandits, I heard, we got North Node here. So they were trying to affect you because you're in your North Node. But what they were trying to do were claim or lie and say that you were Pisces in your North Node, because I saw the South Node earlier. They were lying, claiming that your eighth house was in Mars. So someone either knows or has read your birth chart. And what they were trying to do was like, make it similar, make it full of lies or similar to theirs or something of that sort. I do kind of want to pick up some Oracle without making this too long. Let's go with this new deck here and see what we can come up with really quickly. So they were lying. They were causing conflict. This is like 5 of Swords, 7 of Swords. This is 6 of Swords and 6 of Wands in reverse. 6 of Swords, definitely. They wanted you to be stuck because they wanted you to be mentally stuck. So it would have been like 6 of Swords, 9 of Swords. They wanted you to be mentally stuck in your mind, trapped, unable to move forward. And they're the culprit. So whomever is, Mercury communication or using some type of false fake communication, text message, deep fakes, something like that. Yeah. To trap you or lock you in a cage, to make you go round and round on this hamster wheel, thinking that you're moving forward and just orbiting in a low loop, in a vowel loop. So that's why this person is represented by a woman in a white dress. So it's like they wanted you to like marry or commit to. This is definitely some type of commitment to a low vibrational loop where you were never moving forward. You were only constantly in a circle, walking in a circle. So you never even moved from that space. Yeah, because they put you in the third party with third party situation here. Look, why? I tell people all the time, how did I start my spiritual journey? I asked why. Notice I said start. This is not the only question that you should ask. This is how you might possibly begin. Okay? Why? Why they wanted you to be stuck in a cage? Because they had you in a third party situation. Another's presence stirs conflicts, and triangles have the sharpest angles. Question your relationship. Okay, so they were in a third party situation with regards to fake text messages, deep fake videos, some type of glamour spells. Yeah, conflict. So it's a conflict of interest, clinging to rigid beliefs and rejecting alternative viewpoints. Story. Someone was following someone else's story, or they were putting someone else, making them a part of their story, or maybe they did, or maybe someone committed fraud and they thought it was you, and they ended up putting you in a third party story because they thought this other person, this fraud, was you. I don't know. I have to say, take it how it resonates, guys. Okay. We got Scorpio. Scorpio was involved in some type of conflict based on beliefs, based on some type of this could also be representing a fight, an argument. Somebody had some type of disagreement about something or with regards to something. This person may have seen this other person as a fraudulent you or me. This person, this Scorpio energy. I'm also picking up this that there could have also been a Scorpio woman involved based off of this card. So someone could have also been impersonating Scorpio, and then Scorpio was mind controlled with two-faced. I wanted to say it, but I wasn't quite sure. With mind control, trust me. Question overly charming words and keep guarded with new acquaintances. So that was like some like no new friends or no new friends type ish. Like somebody was on that. Look at that. Y'all heard me trying to shuffle the deck. Not one card shuffled. Not one card shuffled. Why? Because they're trying to say something. Time is up with RIP on this clock, the stopwatch, which RIP also represents the death card, represents Scorpio and Tarot, and then 777 gambling. Somebody was taking a risk, somebody was betting. Results stay beyond control and losses pile up quietly. Somebody was two-faced. And this energy, the Scorpio backstabbed and betrayed me, or you collective. Yeah. They don't want this to come out. Scorpio does not want you to know how they did you. They did you wrong. Okay. Venus, they did you wrong with this planet Venus, this Mercury communication on Venus. Yeah. Forbidden fruit. And when I pick up this card, I want to also say Apple technology chain. Don't bite the apple. Look at that heart. That heart is stitched together. That heart has been fragmented, torn into pieces. Look at this. There's the snake biting or about to bite. Forbidden bite is savored and boundaries blur subtly. So someone crossed the boundary. Somebody stepped over the line. Somebody began to make decisions for you or as you. Someone was angry with you, and then they made permanent decisions based on short-term feelings, thoughts. Yeah. I heard, because I'm hearing they need to learn to breathe, and they're overreacting, and Spirit is telling me things here and there. Saturn Spirit? No, clarify forbidden fruit? Yeah, ghosted you. So they ghosted you. Unseen forces stir and tasks go awry unexpectedly. So things weren't being completed. Things were being left undone, halfway done, because they were ghosting you for this third party. This person, this hurt team. There is a team of people against you. We've got Y, okay, represented by a bomb. So I'm want to say truth bomb. We've got bomb. So we got bomb story. Okay. So these two situations were explosive, and that is what affected the story, because it's like high energy. This could have been like a domestically violent situation or a verbal abuse. This could have also been some type of contractual agreement where there was a handshake, where it was a yes or a no, where people were I want to say evading boundaries, like there was no morals, no ethics here. The situation was explosive. The situation was angering even. This person's angry. Their face is red, Yeah. Distraction. So they definitely were distracted. Notice this woman is driving a car and hits a person, downs them. Subtle cues hint at impeding danger and focus wavers easily. Yeah, so they were unfocused, constantly distracted. How can you drive straight if you're not paying attention and or you're wearing a mask? Maybe you're too angry, too indecisive. I wanted to say drunk. Yeah, they were risking it. They were risking their safety. They were risking your safety, risking your boundaries, risking their morals and their ethics based on their mood. So this person could have an attitude, but they've been blaming you for having an attitude when you were really the one that was left in tears and or working very hard. Look, they're not going to upset my stomach today. I rebuke it in the name of the Most High God. Saturn, Spirit, Saturn. Okay, we got a few coming out. So Saturn is like that mandatory growth, which we read about. And then the champagne pop. Saturn decided that, oh yeah, we about to have some growth and some celebration here. Okay. Growth. Unleash creativity and explore unconventional solutions, embrace quirky inspiration and act decisively. Right, because it demands for you to follow the rules, to stand firmly, because it's the foundation, right? To actively move forward. That's what Saturn represents. And then champagne pop, champagne corks fly, and triumph feels within reach. Okay, unfortunately, their growth was just to party. They were doing things just to achieve access to party with champagne pop. Yeah, with nickel at the bottom of the deck. Hindered by tiny unresolved issues and slowing overall advancement, because that's due to the distractions, the third party, the taking of risks. Too many different things involved here. Yeah, they're affecting your destiny. Remember this card here? The 10th house was represented where you're going, affecting your destiny. Destiny encounter, paths cross unexpectedly, and life shifts abruptly. This is like the person that like wants to pop up on you. You wanna look at them like, where you been? But it's all right, because you're being guided. You're being divinely guided here by this angel. It's not a temperance earth angel and represented in tarot, because those folk can be on some low vibrational negativity as well. Oh yeah, I could tell you about darn temperance energy with tarot. But they were trying to keep you on a leash. So it's like they screaming, "Don't go, please don't go, stay." But look at who has your hand, the divine. They're trying to keep you like roped. His spirit said chained. And what broke you free? Your self-love, your love for yourself, your ability to forgive yourself for mistakes, for trusting and believing in folk that you shouldn't, for forgiving others for hurting you, harming you, lying to you, backstabbing you, betraying you, even robbing you, just carrying on. Yeah, look at this shit. And that caused them to get kicked out of your timeline. Kicked out of your romance, your love life, kicked out of your Venus, your Mercury, your Saturn, your 10th house. What am I missing here? Saturn, Venus, Scorpio. Oh, Scorpio could have been kicked out, or will be if they haven't already. Kicked from the circle, and uncertainty looms. Yeah, there's that time clock as well. Yeah, I heard they gotta go. Ring rings. It's like a wake up call. Someone's emergency caller says, "Stay grounded and take deliberate steps forward. A turning point nears, and answer the call with purpose." That's your 10th house. That's where you're headed. You're headed towards career focus, you're career minded, career goals. Your destiny is not awaiting, it's calling. Okay. Oh, I'm hearing Mercury, Scorpio, whomever was in your Venus, because it wasn't you, as well as Saturn, they got the call as well. They got the same call for their destiny, for their own 10th house. They got the call as well. That's what Spirit is showing me. But see, they didn't want to detox. They didn't want to detox. They wanted to keep chasing their screen, their screenshot, monitoring you even. Algorithms sap focus and leave you exhausted. It says, why that bottle on their back, right? Heavily weighed down, bogged down. And then every day, the same, endless. Yeah, this person or these folks chose to keep working at that desk job or that office job. I heard romance. So someone has like some type of office romance that they need to detox from, but they can't. They haven't moved on. They're not understanding that they are being hunted and preyed upon at that job every day. Every day, eternal curse, forcing eternal vibrancy futilely and ignoring time's relentless march. Okay, what I want to say about that. Notice I keep talking about that clock. You see that clock? You know, what do people say? TikTok, but what I want to say is time's a wasted. Don't you? What does she say? Don't you something, young man? Yeah, they're not paying attention. You know why? Because we get caught into this. I gotta go to work. I've got to have a job. How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to pay for my nice car? My kids want nice things. I've got to put food on the table. I got to pay the rent. Yeah, and fear of loneliness. Okay. They rather have that work romance because something is false. Something about all of this is false. Look at that robot on this person's back, and then they're endlessly watching that computer. Something about whatever romance they have, yeah, it's fraud. It's fraud. It's false. It's not fulfilling. There's no sentimental value there. I want to say it's like they don't feel anything. They don't get any. It's almost like it's just not. It's not worthy. It's not human even because of how it makes them feel. What is that song? You make me feel like a natural woman. Whatever that is that they have going on at the office, they don't feel like a natural person. It's like they feel unnatural now. They're going along with the flow just to have that income, just to have that clout, that status, that title, to keep their things. Meanwhile, the divine is calling them to step out and to walk into their destiny. I'm telling you, if you fulfill the divine's calling, why would you not get money? To get money. Yeah, you will be able to have all of those things because through Christ, right? Isn't that what the word says? You will have all. He has not given us a spirit of lack. I tell myself this all the time. When they make us choose the box and all we get is black, white, Hispanic. I am not the color black. Caucasian people are not white. They are not the color white. But America, I do not have the spirit of black. You could attack a bee onto it all you want to. When I know what I am. I know whose I am. That's what I have for y'all. A little complex. Pretty interesting. A different type of read. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give me some thumbs up, all right? Let me know. Let me know so I can keep doing things like that. Catch you next time. Don't forget, this is What Is Their Karma Read, all right? And what I wanted to know was who was involved. Who are the culprits? Who were the vultures? That was your read today, all right? I'm going to say this, too. take the information and actively make the decisions and choices that you need to make to get people out of your lives, to stop people from being detrimental to you and causing you unfortunate circumstances or situations. You know, I'm not here to give advice, but I can tell you what the energy is and what's going on, and you can go from there. That's all I can do. I don't make your decisions, you do. Okay? So that's what I have for you all. Namaste.